Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Types of Marketing series. So, the Types of Marketing series, we are covering different types of marketing, and we are just going to go detail regarding the meaning, types of it, and then certain questions from the audience. So, today we are covering interesting type of marketing, that is event marketing. Event marketing is being used rampantly. It's also sometimes referred to as experiential marketing. So, a certain experience, if the customers has, then they are much more likely to retain things about your brand, what they perceive of your brand, and they'll know because we are living in a world where we are constantly consuming a lot of content, and due to this, attention spans are less. So you have to have more cerebral experiences. So you have to have design events where the you provide something that they desire, and you're able to kind of fulfill that requirement. So you attach your brand with the positive experiences. Awesome. So, firstly, we'll just kind of define what is event marketing. So I'll just maybe read out one or two definitions and then maybe try to kind of explain that more. So, firstly, we have event marketing is a type of marketing that implies promoting a brand, product, or service by holding, participating in, or attending events. Event marketing helps build more profound relationships with customers and educate them about your product. So here it's kind of in terms of what they are saying is it's covering all the types of events. Basically, what you are maybe holding, you are participating, even as a brand representative where you are attending. So it could like this could even cover like a brand collab. So all the kinds of events to generate more interest in your business. Next definition we have, events allow for a more intimate and engaging experience with your audience, which ultimately leaves a lasting impression and one that is more memorable than a passive viewing of a more traditional form of advertising. So here it's you, the chances of them remaining, because you are more engaged with them, you design the whole event for them, and they create some more kind of recall because they have experienced that with you, right? No, then just traditional form of marketing that just comes and goes. So these, I would say, are the, how would you kind of define and tell this what is the meaning. Next, we have what are we going to say about the benefits? Why do we do this? So there are a few major benefits. Firstly, is to create brand awareness. You That's a major activity for any brand, that you have to your TG, you have to go out there who don't know about your brand and talk more. So all the experiences that have been designed or the content that has to go out there. So it's indirectly kind of a content only, right? If event is covered and it's you have the videos, images of that, so it's to create more brand awareness of it. That would be the first case. Next would be you boost your brand advocates, the people who kind of like your brand, have used your products and services, and are advocating it. You design that event, so I think they would be the first ones who would want to attend an event made by that brand. So it boosts even more, like they feel even more appreciated and they will talk even more positively about your brand. Next, you have to generate leads. That is the main reason why in B2B marketing, major budgets are for event marketing. You get a audience that is kind of priming and ready to purchase your products and services. So here, when they come attend, obviously you get their leads. You have, it's like a data generation activity, major data generation activity, and this kind of genuine data really corresponds in higher conversion rates. And lastly, we have is you establish and grow relationships, because business is deeper than just consuming a product service, they actually look at the brand and storytelling also that is there. So these kind of brand relationships are formed when you interact with them in these particular events. So is a very important part where you are going beyond just like a very transactional approach, where you are have a more cerebral approach. Awesome. So now you've decided to do these events. So how do you strategize about them? So when you're strategizing about it, so you kind of there are certain things that are involved that have to be there, and accordingly you build a strategy. Is firstly, the basic thing that is in all marketing activities, you have to define the target audience for this particular event. So that doesn't necessarily or mostly has to be actually about your entire TG. It could be a specific TG, right? So I think when Colgate, they had one particular event, first move or something like that, they had. So that was targeted. So even though Colgate, that brand was for maybe appealing to an age group, the 20 to 40, that event was specifically for an age group of say 20 to 25 or something. So that's just an example. Like, you have to have a very specific TG for it that will help you in designing the whole event and also marketing the same. Then is the theme. You have to conceptualize something that will appeal to them, that were to see what are they seeing online, what is there in pop culture that is appealing to this particular TG, and then design a theme accordingly. You can't have a theme which is basis of your company or what you want to sell. You have to know what appeals to them. That's the only reason they'll be attracted to the event in the first place. Then you have to design the event itinerary in a way that it's kind of a smooth flow of what things are happening, organized. Generally, you have in a major professional sense, event management companies, they take over this part of it. If you don't have this services of any kind of event management company, then you have to do that yourself in an organized way. Like, we kind of do so many events, even personally. So here at a professional level, when you're kind of having that itinerary, you have to keep the consumer on what will you know um, keep them in the best books, right? If it's totally organized, we've all been to kind of events where you don't know what's happening, like the organizer not taking much interest, that you don't know what is happening now, what are you supposed to do next, what is the purpose. So these all have to be kind of defined and then communicated, even before the event and then during the event as well. And lastly, promotion of the event is a marketing activity. Define the target audience, where all are they kind of active. Then you can have ad campaigns. Instagram ads is a brilliant option because it gives you so much flexibility with respect to the budget. It's very like specific TG as per very unique interests, specific locations. Excuse me. My experience has been with Instagram advertising the best for events. Even if it could be a business event, you still have those kind of filters where they are watching. If he's a professional in that domain, obviously he is watching content on Instagram also within that domain. So that would say is a very good promotional way in terms of the events. Next, let's talk about the types of event formats. When you are, having these events, then what kind of formats are there that are majorly that you're looking at when you're designing them? So there's an online and offline aspect. So it's where you are, the same event can be online or offline. So firstly, you have trade shows. Trade shows involve the people within your industry coming on designing a complete event. There are different stakeholders there. So these are kind of the oldest form you have, which are done regularly by a lot of associations. So these are kind of the the basic where you're gonna have in within industry must have seen a lot of these expos happening that would come under the trade shows. So prospective buyers coming in mostly is used in B2B, and here I would say it's kind of part of your strategy, right? You're not going out of the way. There are certain associations and things already being done for the same. Next, when you organize conferences, this is equivalent to like an online, say, a panel discussion or something, right? So you bring in subject experts within your field, and they are talking about that particular domain, right? So they have known, they have maybe say achieved something in that. People, they have a certain following. People will come and want to listen to, and you have to kind of shortlist such people and make a particular event and call other people within that domain as guests and all. Can be even online, as I said, the panel discussions. So this is a kind of a format that can be used. Next, we have networking events. Networking events, basically, uh, major use of these events is that you, the people, like your prospective customers, they would like to connect with you. This is more, I would say, in a B2C setting where a brand is there, and they would have a certain kind of an audience would like to interact with each other. So that's the main thing, right? That's what is the basis of, say, a community marketing. So they are coming together, they would like to interact with the main thing is not they're coming for the brand, they are coming for the access to other like-minded people in that one. They're following that, using that particular brand. So like, for example, a brand called GoPro. So that would be with a lot of these, content creators or bloggers out there. So that would be a comment they would like to meet. They are not obviously that concerned with GoPro, whatever they will showcase there. It's more of the networking aspect of it. So this would come under this particular category. And lastly, you would have the, I would say, a seminars or a workshop. So you are talking about something specific. There's a teaching involved, some particular process. Like, say, you're talking about in marketing field, it would be how to create great Facebook ads, or how to create a great digital marketing campaign or something. So you have one particular subject expert. So is a major uh, known entity in that field who has achieved something. So the people are attracted to come to that particular seminar, right? So this particular way, I would say, you are bringing, it can be an online thing, offline, and you are designing this particular event, and then you kind of try to promote it within that particular TG. So somebody who is a little bit known also can bring that particular audience to the same. Awesome. So we're done with the general aspects of event marketing. Let's go to the Q&A. Let's see what the audience has brought in. What kind of questions are there? Great. First question: how to design a virtual event with minimum investment? Yes, this is an important question. A lot of people are, a bootstrap startup or a freelancer, and they would like to, design virtual event. Obviously, physical event will involve much more investment. There's a risk, like, in terms of people, how many will turn up, and also, how do you do with minimum investment? So, related to your TG, you have to obviously design that particular event. uh, Minimum investment, obviously there'll be some, I won't say zero. Like, main would be to market the particular event, right? So you have to design the particular event wherein you have a particular something that would appeal to them, right? Like, when you see these events banners and all that, also it is some kind of pain point, right? Like, how do we do this, right? Like, it's like, and I was seeing this a certain event that been created, that how do you get, say, and they had put numbers in it, like how to gain, say, 10 customers in a month in a freelancing business or something. So something, there has to be a hook in that, so that they this thing it. Then LinkedIn may, there are the premium level tools wherein you can, direct DM the people within that particular TG in a, in the business sense, when you shortlist them who would be kind of interested, and a bit of marketing in your personal and professional network. That would, I think that would be the max within a minimum budget, but that would create some kind of a demand, and there will be referrals also. So once one event is successful by you, there are automatically going to be referrals, so that your next event more people can turn up. Next question: how can event marketing be used in personal branding? I think that it would be the same in terms of the freelancing. This thing, that how you define, but here you have to go a little bit deeper in your own personal brand. How do you, create more? Many people, obviously, the challenge is getting new customers. So how do you get customers? Is through meetings, right? And meetings is through, like, you're approaching the decision makers, where if you have the events and the people in your domain, they attend your event and they're talking about you, that creates that kind of more credibility. So when you actually go for meetings or something, then there's more chance, when you're requesting for meetings, more chance of you closing the deal and getting the meeting. So should differ within your this, like you can have your own kind of a podcast, or you have just like a meetup you're organizing of people in your domain, and all. It can be at a very small scale, but these small efforts in these events, they have a major, they as per the what feedback I've got, and I've also organized events, and also it creates that. So with the events, you're experiencing it, right? You're right. So there is more chance than the people, they remember you. So when they actually need that particular service, then, so obviously when you're pitching a particular your service at that time, it's very unlikely that the person needs it, right? That's why conversion rates are so, you approach 100 people, like hardly maybe why two or three are converting, or even no in certain cases at all, right? So this is when there's a perception, firstly, for your credibility, that is there, that you have worked over a period of a time, you worked on your branding, and then with these events, they create so much, like your reach increases so much, right? So this would, I would say, should be used. A lot of mini events that can be used by a lot of startup founders or freelancers. Next question: as a marketer, what activities do you do? Very important question. Post, just you organize the event, that is not enough. What, post the events, what do you do, right? So post the event, you have, obviously, you, during the event, you have to shoot the event properly, right? Like, at least you have somebody to take the photos, the videos of that event. If it's a virtual event, also, just, it has to be kind of recorded and all. Then you create great clippings of that event, and then put it out in your social media. Also, the people who have attended, you message them feedback about the event. What do you think went good about the event and all? If you have that bandwidth, maybe you can have a call also with them, whoever attended, and also communication going out there, so that they kind of remember you, and they also, it creates a positive impression that they care about how the event took place and all. Like, when we all get calls when you attended an event, there's some kind of a call or messaging or something happening, that we feel, yeah, this person is serious in their business, and they want to contribute and improve further. How to design a virtual event? Oh, sorry, that was this was a repeat, I think. I'm sorry. Okay, importance of events for internal stakeholders. Okay, in internal stakeholders, I think this is referring to internal events. So like when we join some particular company also, there are certain, events that take place, right? So that has a major impact on us, right? We have discussions among, say if you're working for a company in Singapore, we, if a person says I have, there is a event, birthday event related, or there was a event with the marketing department or a sales department, or there was some annual function, that creates so much of positivity. So importance of event not only to the external stakeholder, even to internal stakeholders. So even huge corporations, like major FMCG companies or consumer durable, for their dealers, they have certain events. They will have, or like an award show or something. I've heard of a lot of these things. So it's very important for the internal stakeholders. There's a human touch. It just shows that the company, cares and is uh, spending money and time and energy towards great experiences for their internal stakeholders. So very important to have a strategy. So this is majorly, I would say, HRs would be kind of, you know, part of this particular thing. So I think I'll just go to that one particular question that was there. I think so. It just got missed out. So I'll just check that one. Yes, got it. So, how to market events in our personal and professional? There is a way, because it's just not beyond just you messaging and putting up, say, a story of yours in these networks, or just a post. There is a strategy. Firstly, I think there has to be a constant communication within your personal and professional network. Uh, Today I feel in, you kind of have to be, if you want to achieve anything, have to be kind of uh, you know extremely social. So if not, like say on Instagram, if you even have a personal account, you maximum people you connect with, um, you kind of should allow them to follow you and see your content also. Once there is a some kind of a connection, so that increases your, I think, personal network. So whatever you post, then it goes to them, right? Like, so they understand. So I've seen so many cases wherein in within your personal network, somebody knows about something. Okay, oh, you are a say a fitness instructor or something. They come to know, they didn't know earlier, right? Or you take, say, workshops on finance or something, so then they refer it, since it's anyway you're on the personal network, so then they refer it to people who might require it, right? So this is the important, like how a personal professional, that line is kind of blurring now, where it can be utilized for, or it's indirectly utilized, right? So gonna be aware of that. Professional networks like on LinkedIn and all, you have maybe some messaging campaigns happening, right? Not only just a post, because even say you have, as per my experience, hardly most of the time, like unless you are like a regular content creator, hardly 5% of your followers are being reached by your posts or something, or your connections. So you have to kind of directly message them or something, so you should invest time in that. So that is the way I think you market your events, and to get the maximum reach. Awesome. um just check which all there. Okay, so now I think it's just the last question. Okay, great. So, how should events be designed to encourage networking of prospects? Yeah, I know. I think I know what you're getting at. So basically, um, even I have noticed this. So when you go to a event by certain brand, right, or it's certain brand which is, the TG is into a certain kind of hobbies. Like I mentioned that GoPro thing. So there will be like a lot of, say, bloggers in that. So you, why do you go to that brand? You're not here to see the new products of GoPro or something. You are there to connect with the fellow bloggers, right? Even when you go to an event, like I would say a basic, like an adventure group or something like that, you're going on some trek or something like that. So majorly they want to network with us. So how do you kind of design that? There is, because initially obviously there is a, some people they might have awkward to directly like approach within that, right? So I think firstly you can have like an introduction session, a little bit you talk about, a lot of people are doing this when you have that event. So you just talk, how many of you come, you just mention 2 3 lines about yourself, what you do and all, so that will kind of break the ice. When you have that networking session also happens, right? See, it could be after the person has spoken, the guest speaker or whatever is there. So uh, that would kind of help a lot in making. And also you can organize some kind of a game or something, or some activity that they are doing together, right? That you have to kind of conceptualize as per what is that audience and all, what will they keep, what they will enjoy doing and all. So you have to have these kind of some kind of introductions happening, some kind of activities. So there is, they've broken the ice basically, right? And they can approach each other more easily. So then they have a positive experience. Oh, I met so many friends of connections, whatever, in this event. So that creates so much of positivity towards that brand, right? That is what the branding is about, right? You're creating so that good experiences so that they come back again and purchase your products and services. So I feel this is the way kind of you have to focus on this, that how they can, whoever comes, they are networking the other people, how much easier it is them for them to network with other people, like-minded people who come to that event. Awesome, great. So, thank you. It's been a great session. Thank you for all the feedback, questions, and all. So, in this particular series, there will be a lot of more episodes coming up with different, more other different types of marketing there. So, thanks a lot. Thanks for the support. You can approach me. My details, top right screen. You can, if you want to work with me, any projects and all that. That all details you can get from the, that's what given on the top right of the screen. You can scan that code, or you can directly enter that URL that is there. And then my contacts and everything. You can also DM me on LinkedIn any of your questions or anything that is there. So accordingly, then we can take it further. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. I'll see you. Take care.